It's December 2022. 'Tis the season to be utterly confused by the fundraising environment. There is a lot of weirdness when it comes to the seasons for when founders can ideally raise. That's why we're going to talk through the seasonality of fundraising from VCs. And luckily, we have a VC with us here today to tell us all about it.
Ho, 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 Janel. And I say this because it is December 2022. And it is a really great time to be talking about this topic because when I was a founder, I had no idea that VCs were basically unreachable because they're on vacation all the time. And let's actually walk through what the year looks like. And the goal for this episode is to make sure that founders know the right times where you can catch windows of VCs who are actually working. So it's December, but let's actually look a month ahead to January and February. So this is an okay time to be running your fundraising process if you're trying to get in front of VCs. But just note that in the first week of January, there tends to be a little bit of an extension in terms of the end of year holidays. So I wouldn't try to capture people on like January 3rd. Make sure that you wait until like maybe the second week of January. But what's even more confusing is the fact that a lot of VCs, clearly like myself, if you can look at my background here, have children who are in schools. And kids have midwinter breaks. A lot of VCs like to go to Aspen or Jackson Hole to do little ski week vacations. I know how that sounds and how that must feel for founders to hear that. So just note that like around like end of January or sometime in February, there's often a break there too. But I would still say that January and February is a decent time to be beginning your process. Now let's look ahead towards closer to the spring, March and May. This is actually a really good time for fundraising. In fact, I think this is the best time of the year. There aren't too many major holidays. Yeah, there's a spring break possibly here and there, but most VCs are very busy working. You'll find a good amount of responsiveness. The weather is also really good in Silicon Valley. There's still a very strong locus of VCs who are based here, who want to take walks with you, meet you in person, outside at the Rosewood Hotel or somewhere on Sand Hill Road, or maybe Coupa Cafe in Palo Alto. All these things you'll realize if you raise from VCs in Silicon Valley. So March through May, good, really great time to be raising. June, okay, well, school is out. Remember, children, right? And a lot of VCs will go on a vacation in this month, at least for like a week, to take advantage of the lack of childcare and the need for them to reconnect with their families. So a little bit of vacation is happening, but I still think that there's a lot of activity happening. July is just kind of the same. Yes, there's the 4th of July holiday, a little bit random, week here and there of people off, but I think you're going to find responsiveness too. So this whole first half of the year is generally pretty decent, but then we get to August. This is the absolute worst time, Janel, for any founder to be raising capital. Uncapped Notes is a series produced by Hustle Fund designed for first-time founders.
Follow us on socials and don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe.
And the reason why is everyone is in Ibiza or Mykonos or Croatia, right? This is the summer holiday season. And I have been so astounded, like getting on this side of the table to realize like, wait a second, people take like an entire month off in this industry? They're not working? Okay, rest assured, at Hustle Fund, me and Janel are very busy working, but a lot of VCs are gone. And on top of that, too, at the end of August, early September, that's Burning Man. This is when like there's like a spiritual rediscovery every year for VCs to go off into the desert, possibly take certain chemicals in their bodies, and then like speak to a spirit of the universe or something like that. So August through early September, oh my gosh, terrible. Right? You're not going to get in front of any VC. So let's move on to the next part of this year. There's only a few months left. So in September and November, I'd say it's actually pretty good. So up until maybe Thanksgiving. But I think that this is my favorite window. September through November is towards the end of the year. Along with this timing, too, is when a lot of annual meetings are taking place for venture capital firms. So this is when they bring together their limited partners, their investors in this fund. And it's kind of nice to show activities happening. Maybe they can invite some founders that they recently invested in as well to show up and showcase themselves in front of investors. So this is a really good time. And people are trying to rush to do deals before the end of the year. So my favorite window is the September through November period up until Thanksgiving, when things immediately die. So in the United States, we have this thing called Thanksgiving. It's a US holiday that happens on the third Thursday of every November. This is a pretty, serious holiday, family and friends, and people don't want to work that week. But it turns out that that feeling of not working that week also extends through the end of the year. Yes, some people, like most VCs, will come back in December. They'll take a couple meetings, but I've been to some of these VC offices in early December. There's like eggnog, parties, very, very low key Michael Bublé music playing in the lobby. Check Spotify for Michael Bublé. It's a great name to just keep repeating to yourself, Michael Bublé. Anyway, they're not doing that much. And then, of course, by the second half of December, it's the end of your holidays. It's gone. You're done. People are gone from middle of December through early January. And then the circle of life repeats itself all over again. Think about watching this video on repeat again to take some of these notes if you can. I'm going to try to mark it into the time codes of this Uncapped Notes episode as well, Janelle. But this is something that a lot of founders are not appreciating, how difficult it is to get onto the calendars of VCs because of all these holidays. I hope that is educational. I'm sure you learned something too, Janelle, today.
Well, I had no idea that Burning Man was such a thing for the world of VC, and I wonder if I should substitute that in for hiking the John Muir Trail when you're in Ibiza next August.
Just to be super clear, Janelle, for the listeners out there, I will never go to Ibiza. I like actually working in August as well.
So let's do some summary here. First thing, there's an asterisk to all of this. This is not a hard and fast rule. Getting a fast response from VCs can vary a lot depending on the VC. And maybe this is a good time to throw in a blatant brag, but emerging fund managers like Hustle Fund, we tend to be responsive throughout the year because we're young, oh so young, and really hungry. So again, not hard and fast rule, but this is something that you'll want to play on repeat if you're struggling in December to raise that next round. Final takeaway is that angels are investing year round. And for early stage companies, angels may be the best source of capital anyway. So always keep that in the back pocket if you're looking to close up a round and it's in one of these seasonal times where VCs are out to lunch.
All right, founders. I would love to hear your reactions and also any advice you might have in terms of managing the seasons of venture capital. Do you have any thoughts? Please put it in the comments below.
And don't forget to like and subscribe to Uncapped Notes.